Action figures are great!
Welcome to the newest edition of TNI News with your host, JC. Hey, all you action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here, and welcome to a Monday edition of TNI News. Now, as always, we've got a lot to cover today, so hit that like button and let's just jump right into it. Now, for some real quick Marvel Legend news, just once again a reminder that tomorrow, April 30th, that new Marvel 85th Anniversary Marvel Legends Danny Ketch Ghost Rider from Hasbro will be going up for pre-order. It'll be available at places like our sponsor Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth. The cost of this one will be $49.99. Has the bike, has Danny, has his chain. You know, honestly, I feel like if they had just included this with the Haslab Ghost Rider and the car, I would have probably backed it if they had done it. Even if it was a little more expensive, because this is the Ghost Rider. This is my go-to Ghost Rider. When I first started reading Ghost Rider, this was the comic that I started, reading. So this was really my first introduction to Ghost Rider, the Danny Ketch version. I know Johnny Blaze is the original Ghost Rider, and that's what a lot of people associate Ghost Rider with. But for me, having started reading Ghost Rider in the 90s, it was all about Danny. So Toy Biz did a version back in the day, which actually was pretty good, but this one seems much nicer. So I think this one will be a popular one. I don't know if it'll sell out, but I definitely plan on pre-ordering this one when it goes up tomorrow. So again, pre-order tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time. And again, the cost is $49.99. Now, the only other Marvel news I have for you guys today comes from Mondo Toys. So this weekend, Mondo was at attendance at the C2E2 convention, and they had a panel, and they announced a couple of things, which the bigger news that they announced this weekend, I'm going to get to in just a moment. But for Marvel, for you Marvel fans, they announced another one of their X-Men animated series 1/6 or 12-inch figures. I guess X-Men 97 is they're being referred to, since that's the modern series. But it's Cyclops, Jim Lee style Cyclops, which you're going to get multiple head sculpts. You're going to get multiple types of optic blasts. You're going to get his leather jacket, which will be removable, multiple pairs of hands. So no idea yet exactly when this is going to be going up for pre-order. I think we'll be seeing more of this figure at San Diego Comic-Con this coming July. But again, it looks like Cyclops, Jim Lee style Cyclops, is the next figure in their Marvel 1/6 scale line. Now, in other Mondo news, other things that they announced. So first of all, they announced for their 1/6 scale line that they were going to be doing ThunderCats. So previously, they've been doing Masters of the Universe, Batman the Animated Series, the Marvel stuff, and now we're going to be getting ThunderCats. So I feel like this will probably go well with the Masters of the Universe stuff. Now, they showed off this digital render for their Lion-O figure. Now, it seems like instead of just giving us a classic Lion-O, they're giving us our own version, their own take on Lion-O, which has kind of like a gladiator look to him. It looks like an outfit with a kind of skirt piece. Looks something like a gladiator would wear. So I don't know if that's really going to appeal to Thundercat fans. I feel like Thundercat fans are going to would rather have a more classic Lion-O, assuming that they want to collect 12-inch figures at all. So I don't know. Share your thoughts down below. Do you like this kind of take on Lion-O, or would you rather see them just stick with classic looks? But again, they are definitely going to be doing 1/6 scale Thundercat figures. And again, like with Cyclops, we'll probably see more of this figure and get more details at San Diego Comic-Con. And then the big news from the weekend from Mondo is in regards to Ghostbusters. So they announced that they're going to be doing real Ghostbuster figures from the actual Ghostbusters cartoon, not to be mistaken with the Filmation cartoon, but the one based on, essentially taking the movie characters and they put them in a cartoon. So that's what these figures that Mondo is going to be doing, real Ghostbuster figures, which is something I've heard many Ghostbuster fans ask for. Diamond Select Toys did some, but I didn't think they were that great. Everyone hoped Hasbro was going to do them with their Plasma series, but for whatever reason didn't. And now we've got Mondo. And the thing here with these is you would think with Mondo they'd be 12-inch figures, right? Because that's all they've ever done when it comes to action figures is 12-inch 1/6 scale figures. But no, these are said to be 6.5 inch or essentially 1/12 scale figures. 6.5 should scale pretty well with something like Marvel Legends. So these are essentially 6-inch figures that they're going to be doing for the real Ghostbusters. They said that during the panel that these would be deluxe 2-packs with the Ghostbusters and a ghost. No digital renders of the figures were shown during the panel. Okay, it's very important to note that, and the reason why that is because there's been a lot of images floating around the internet that were done up well before Mondo had gotten this license by one of the Mondo artists, Alex Brewer, who just as fan concept art drew up these real Ghostbuster figures. So I'm not saying that these images that are floating around might not give us some idea of what the figures will look like that Mondo gives us, but that's not what these images were created for. And so, just keep that in mind that, these, whatever Mondo gives us may be very different from what we're seeing here. In fact, I almost hope they are, because while I don't think these look bad, these fan concept art, it definitely looks like the source material. I see $30 figures here. I don't really see these as 2-packs. Those ghosts are basically just accessory add-in pack-ins. I wouldn't consider that a second figure. So, the fact that Mondo is using the word 2-pack, deluxe 2-pack, I really hope the ghosts are a bit more elaborate than what we're seeing in this fan concept art. Also, the articulation on these figures, I'm not seeing much in the way of midsection articulation or anything like that. So, again, definitely, I hope they look like the source material like these images do. But beyond that, and my thing is, again, if these are $30, if Mondo can give us, $25, $30 6-inch real Ghostbuster figures, then I think these will be fantastic. But my fear is, knowing Mondo and generally how high their prices run, they're kind of up there with like Super 7 stuff. I'm expecting these to cost at a minimum like $50, $55. And if the ghosts are more elaborate, then I could see that even getting up into like maybe the $70 range or something in that area. And so when I look at this fan concept art, to me, I don't see a $50+ figure here. So I'm not saying that nobody would pay that much, but I'm saying I feel like you wouldn't get a lot of traction if that's how much the figures ended up costing, and this is what we got. So again, Mondo did not show these as meant to be renders for the figures they're giving us, and we won't see that probably until San Diego Comic-Con time, even though a lot of people are passing around these images. But I feel like that's doing a disservice, because it's going to set an expectation. If the prices end up coming in high, like I suspect they will, just knowing Mondo stuff, then people are going to have sticker shock, and they're going to be like, yeah, I'm not going to pay that much money for these figures. And I'm already seeing that. A lot of social media commentary is, a lot's going to depend on the price. And I think those are the price factor, and then quality control is the other thing that I worry a little bit about, because Mondo, again, they do a lot of 12-inch figures. And while there have been some QC issues with their 12-inch figures, for the most part, I think they've done a pretty good job with those larger scale figures. But they've never really done articulated 6-inch scale figures. Now, the company that owns Mondo, Funko, has in the past, you may recall those Game of Thrones figures, 6-inch Game of Thrones figures that Funko did several years ago. Those things were horrible. They had so many QC issues. If you looked at them wrong, they broke. So I really hope we get something better than we did from Funko with those Game of Thrones figures. So I feel like QC is a big issue, and then price is going to be a big issue of whether or not this line is successful. Now, Mondo said, they're going to do the 4 Ghostbusters, and then depending on how well they sell will depend on whether they do anything beyond that. So, but again, I feel like price, the lower they can keep the price. If they could release $30 real Ghostbuster figures, then I think a lot of people who have been wanting real Ghostbuster figures will be on board. But if they start getting up into the 50 or more range, then I think people are going to become much more selective. And so we'll just have to see what they really give us, if it's going to come off as being something that seems worth paying that much money for. So, but again, they are doing real Ghostbuster figures, not Hasbro, but Mondo. And like I say, we'll get more details on these during San Diego Comic-Con in July. NECA Toys today announced Monster Mayhem for next month. So they didn't give us a lot of details. I guess we're going to be getting new monster-based figures, and I'm sure this will include everything from Toonie Terrors to Ultimates. Yeah, I think they did this last year, if I remember correctly. This is kind of their halfway to Halloween event. So things kick off on May 6th. I don't know if every day, you can see they release the schedule, and I don't know. I guess these are when these figures will be going up for pre-order. It looks like a lot of these are going to be NECA Store exclusives. I guess the dates that don't have NECA Store next to it will be general releases. So again, they didn't really give a whole lot of details with this, but it looks like we're going to be getting a number of different monster-based NECA figure reveals starting early next month. And again, this is the schedule that they put out. And of course, as they reveal things, we'll have that information up at TNI. And also, I'm sure I'll be talking about this stuff in future news videos. All right, now let's jump over to McFarlane Toys. So I don't have a whole lot to share with you today from McFarlane, but they did release these images of their DC Multiverse Platinum Edition Crisis on Infinite Earth Psycho Pirate figure. So this wave was offered as a McFarlane Store exclusive, you may recall. And this is the Platinum Edition version of the Psycho Pirate. So just wanted to share those images with you. And then also going up for pre-order this week, tomorrow, April 30th at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, are two new 7-inch scale Demon Slayer figures. So the character Akaza, if I butchered that, I apologize. I've never watched Demon Slayer, so I'm not familiar with these characters. And then Tanjiro, again, probably butchered that name. But those are the two 7-inch scale figures from McFarlane Toys for Demon Slayer that will be going up for pre-order again tomorrow, April 30th at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. The Tanjiro figure is said to have 3 swappable face portraits. So we only have these 2 images right now, but we'll get more images tomorrow when they go up for pre-order. And these will be available at places like Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth. I talked about this on Friday, but those Jada Toys Mega Man Wave 2 figures have now gone up for pre-order. You can get them at places like Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth. The cost of the figures are $19.99 each. So as I mentioned before, the wave includes Electman, Cutman, and Hyper Bomb Mega Man. So again, all 3 of those figures are available for pre-order now. Again, you can get them at places like Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, and these are supposed to be out by October of this year. Also from Jada Toys, we have a look at the new Player 2 variant Street Fighter Chun-Li figure. So this is the red variant. We'd seen listings for this one. Now, overseas, this is an event exclusive, but here in the United States, rumor is that it will be released as a Target store exclusive. That has not been officially confirmed by Jada Toys, but I believe that it is going to be a Target store exclusive. We all know how Target loves red figures, so it makes sense. But again, this figure is definitely coming, this red variant of Chun-Li. So if you like the variants, this is one that you might want to check out. And when we do get more official details on this one, I'll be sure to let you guys know. For you Star Wars fans, that Phantom Menace SH Figuarts Jar Jar Binks figure has now gone up for pre-order at places like our sponsor Big Bad Toy Store. The cost of this one is $149.99. It's supposed to be released in October of this year. The figure is going to have an extra pair of hands, a replacement head, and 2 replacement jaw type pieces. So again, Jar Jar Binks from the Phantom Menace for the SH Figuarts line. If you want to add it to your collection, you can pre-order it now. Now, I was expecting by this point Hasbro to have announced a live stream for Star Wars. We've got May the 4th coming up this Saturday, and Hasbro had previously said that they were going to be launching their Haslab, their Star Wars Haslab, on May the 4th. But as of right now, as I'm filming this, they have not made any kind of live stream announcements or anything like that. So I don't know if they'll do a live stream maybe on Friday or if they'll actually do it on Saturday, which again is May the 4th, big Star Wars day. So I'm sure we'll be hearing something soon. But again, as I'm filming this, nothing, it's been all quiet on the Hasbro front. So real quick, just a quick update on the Star Wars story. So Hasbro late this afternoon put out an announcement finally for their live stream this week, which will be taking place on Friday, May the 3rd, not May the 4th, but on Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. However, they will not be announcing their Haslab. So that's what originally this live stream was supposed to be for, was to announce and launch their next Star Wars Haslab. Apparently there's been a delay or something. I don't know why. Maybe Lucasfilm wasn't happy with something and they had to go back and rework something. I don't know. But the Haslab announcement is not going to happen this week. Now, there had been some reissue pre-orders that went up on Entertainment Earth earlier today for like Ahsoka and a couple of other figures that were then quickly pulled. I wouldn't be surprised if those were pulled, just so there would be something that goes up for May the 4th. Because again, there is going to be a live stream with the Star Wars brand team, but obviously they're going to be scrambling to come up with some other things to show us, since they won't be focusing on the Haslab like they had, originally planned. So I don't know how much new stuff they'll be showing on Friday. Probably not a ton of stuff, I'm guessing, but we'll have to wait and see. But again, the big news here is that the Haslab project for this year apparently has been delayed. I don't know when the announcement for that will come, if it's going to be a significant delay or if it's something we'll end up seeing sometime next month. But again, no Star Wars Haslab announcement for this week as originally planned. You Godzilla fans, we've got another Godzilla Kong New Empire figure. This one from Tamashii Nations for the SH Monsterarts line. This is the evolved version with the red fins. This one's going to cost you $140. It's available for pre-order now at places like our sponsor Big Bad Toy Store. And this figure is supposed to be released in December of this year. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys today. But as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts on everything I talked about down in the comments section below. Are you excited for 6-inch real Ghostbuster figures? Let me know. As always, like this video if you're so inclined. If you're new to the channel, think about subscribing and hitting that bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. As always, guys, stay safe out there, and until next time, I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching today's video. Now, if you're new to the channel, please think about hitting that subscribe button. Also hit the bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. For all the latest action figure news, be sure to head over to toynewseye.com, marvelousnews.com, JediInsider.com, and tformers.com. And remember, action figures are great,